Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have come down to the final few weeks of the year. How about that? We made it through yet another year, and here we are. Where are we? Well, we are on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. What is this? You know what this is? This is a special edition. This is a combined episode of the flagships that are the ShakeBack, the ShakeBack Sports Show and the hashtag Brothers of Baseball Show. It is a year end edition, and we are going to be talking about the big stories from 2023, both on and off the field slash court slash diamond. And look, if you want to join in the conversation, the link to join in, to come on into the studio live, I have put it on my Twitter at SHKBKMEDIAGRP on the Twitter. It is also on Facebook. So if you want to get in and give your takes on what happened in 2023, you are more than welcome to join us. And I see we already have people lined up backstage to come on in and talk. So we're going to get to that. Before we do, though, we got to go ahead and take care of these bills. Big Day, what's going on? Happy holidays. Merry Christmas and happy New Year. We are, look, oh my gosh, what a year 2023 has been. Big Day to the dopest engineer in the cosmos. What is going on? I'm telling you right now, sports fans all over the globe, people fans all over the globe. You already know what it is, man. So before we move any further, though, this first segment, it is being brought to you by us. Who is us? We is us. We is, or who is we? We is the Big Game Christian Sports Network. Y'all, my wife is a school teacher, and she don't like it when I use incorrect grammar, but que sera. At the BGC Sports Network, we would like to get your feedback on our network. Your feedback will help us to improve and present you, the listener, with the best possible programming for your listening enjoyment. Just leave your first initial and last name, as well as your feedback to @comments at BGCSports.net. Again, that is comments at BGCSports.net. And we would greatly appreciate that so we can continue to improve and make the Big Game Christian Sports Network, you making us better, the first choice for sports talk that's lit 24/7. Of course, that is us, the Big Game Christian Sports Network. Okay, so, man, so many stories from 2023. I really don't know where to begin. So I'm telling you right now, we're just going to get into it. Let's go ahead and start this thing right now. Because it is, it's history continues to be made, ladies and gentlemen, in our country. And we're going to get to that here in just a second. The first guest is in the building. I see her. And who is it? There she is in all her splendor. It is the one of the co-stars of a show Enough Divided that you can watch right here on the ShakeBack Media Group every Wednesday at 6 p.m. It is Tisha C. What is going on, Tisha?
Hello. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, good. This is your first appearance on the ShakeBack Sports Show.
Let's do it.
Let's get it in. All right, so again, we're taking guests. I mean, people are lining up in backstage right now, so we're going to get everybody a chance to get in here to talk about what their story was. But since Tisha is a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and I hate them, continue to tune in to a show Enough Divided because it goes down. Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl, whatever it was, 58 or whatever it was. I don't know the Roman numerals. Y'all know what it is out there. But as of last February, they defeated the Philadelphia Eagles 38-35, a game-winning field goal by Harrison Butker. There at the end, there was a lot of controversy about the call on James Bradbury on one Juju Smith-Schuster, who, oh, by the way, is no longer in Kansas City. He's now in New England. So that was your team, and the story, Tisha, continued to be the call that was made. How big of a story, or let me put it this way. I know it's a big story for you, but I just really want you to give your comments on your team winning yet another Super Bowl.
I don't really want to comment on On the call, we won, so that was
Yeah,
great.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
we lost though. I mean, I losing Juju, I think was that one really hurt me. I think we should have kept him around a lot. Um, the Super Bowl wasn't just a Super Bowl; it was, like you said, it was history. You had the story, of the two Kelsey brothers, which was absolutely beautiful. And to be honest with you, even being a absolutely huge Chiefs fanatic, like it could have gone either way, and I still would have been super excited. But we did win, and it was fantastic.
Yeah. Again, tune in to a show Enough Divided every Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. That's with Tisha, of course. She's one of the co-stars, and then Brian is the other co-star, and then Leslie, she's the other co-star, and I'm just a guy behind the microphone that just kind of pulls all the strings, and we go after each other. That's what siblings do. All right, Tisha. Well, we appreciate you chiming in for this particular special edition of the combined ShakeBack Sports Show and the hashtag Brothers of Baseball Show. We will holler at you on Wednesday of next week for a show Enough Divided. Peace out.
Bye.
So yeah, that was Tisha, and of course, her Chiefs did it again, like Britney Spears, but whatever. So let's just continue on with the sports bigger stories of 2023, in my opinion. And oh, by the way, thank you guys out there for checking us out on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram TV, and of course, Twitter. We're steamrolling towards 13 racks in followers. So yeah, let's continue the stories from 2023. My next story and we're gonna stay in sports because we're gonna get to other things after a while. Let's just stay with the NFL and how, to me, you have a coach that was a coach then, but is no longer a coach now, and that was the historic collapse by the Los Angeles Chargers in the AFC wildcard round against the Jacksonville Jaguars last year. Of course, if you remember, the Jags were down 27-0 going into halftime. And then Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville got right. And for them to win that game in the fashion that they did with the turnovers that Jacksonville committed in the first half, and Brandon Staley actually being allowed to get back on the plane to go back to LA, I think surprised us all. And I actually turned that game off because I was like, yo, there's no way. With Justin Herbert, with Keenan Allen, with Mike Williams, with Austin Eckler, with Joshua Palmer, with Everett, there's no way. And even with Bosa and Mack, there's no way that the Chargers were going to come back and win that game. But then you turn back on the TV the next day, and what do you hear? It's one of the most historic comebacks in the history of all the sports. So then you fast forward it from January until December. And after a 63-0 or 63-21 loss to the Las Vegas Raiders, my Las Vegas Raiders, that is, on the Thursday Night Football a couple weeks ago, the Chargers indeed fire Brandon Staley. And not to say that it wasn't deserved, because if you watch the game, you can really and truly tell that those guys had quit on that team or that coach. And I don't even want to say that. Their effort wasn't one that you would think that they would have wanted to have that coach back again next year. And I just know how Rex Ryan has gone in on them. I know how other analysts, former players have gone in on them. I can only imagine what it's like as a player to have a coach that makes some of the decisions that dude made. I'm just like, yo. So that was a tremendous story as well. And then on a personal note, the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, again, you have Brock Purdy. This is the thing about the San Francisco 49ers from the 2022 season. They had 4 quarterbacks. Four. They had Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, and if you want to count Christian McCaffrey, you can, because he played quarterback in the NFC Championship game there in Philadelphia when Purdy got hurt and went out with the elbow injury. But here's the story. The story, of course, is Mr. Irrelevant. Last year's Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the NFL draft, comes in and takes not one person's position, not two people's position, he takes two people's positions. And now Brock Purdy is being mentioned for the 2023 season as an NFL MVP candidate. Now, there's been a lot of discussion going on here lately about, well, is it the scheme or is it Brock? Is it Brock or is it the scheme? Is it Kyle Shanahan or is it Brock? Look, I don't care who it is. And I'm pretty sure the 49ers don't really care who it is either. You know why? Because they're on a 6-game winning streak. They're 11-3. They've already won yet another NFC West championship. Right now, as of tape time, they hold the number 1 seed going into the playoffs, and they're probably going to secure that. I'm pretty sure they don't care who the media is talking about, who it is. Period, point blank. So that's the story from that. And then furthermore in the NFL, I'm going to finish the segment here. I'm going to finish the segment with my Las Vegas Raiders and how Josh McDaniels, who of course we know has 6 Super Bowl rings as an offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. We know this. We also know that he had a failed stint in Denver, but it didn't start off that way. You guys have to remember that when Josh McDaniels was the head coach in Denver, I think they started the season like 5-0 or something like that. And then it nosedove from there. And so he gets this gig in in Vegas with us. And just about every Raider fan I talked to was like, yo, we are not on board with this decision. What is Mark Davis thinking? And I was like, this guy here, man, he ain't it. And the amount of leads that the Raiders blew last season, the amount of double-digit leads the Raiders blew last year, having an opportunity really to get into the playoffs for the second year in a row, which hasn't happened since the 80s, and we couldn't hold any leads. So then you fast forward it again, and Josh McDummy gets the McAxe and gets McFired. And I couldn't be McHappier. Not because of a man loses his job, but I think he's going to be okay because Mark Davis is still going to pay him $35 million through that's left over from his contract. So what I'm saying is this: the narcotic that continues to be the Oakland / Los Angeles / Oakland / Las Vegas Raiders. Now with Antonio Pierce at the helm on an interim level, it's going to be interesting to see how we finish the year. If we finish the year on an upside, he has placed himself in prime position to become yet another African-American head coach that a member of the Davis family has hired. And if you remember, Al Davis made history by hiring the first ever African-American head coach in the NFL with Art Shell back in the day. And Art Shell was a terrific offensive lineman for those Raider teams that used to just run through people back in the late 70s and into the mid 80s. So that's a huge story in itself. And there are quite a bit of other stories out there too. We're going to get to some of those in the second segment. Again, we want to thank you guys out there, and we encourage you to join in. I mean, I put the link to join the studio or to come into the studio. You have access. This is social media takeover. The access is there. Go to my Twitter page or go to my Facebook page. You can click on the StreamYard link and you can join the conversation in terms of what was your big story from 2023 as we are winding down the year. Again, we want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody out there, one and all, man. It has been a terrific year for the Eptings. And look, I'm going to get into some personal history in the second segment. So y'all make sure y'all come on back on the other side for that. Before we actually conclude this first segment, I got to give a shout out to my team. And you just heard and saw one of them. That's Tisha C. Of course, she's on the show, Show Enough Divided, one of the co-stars. Brian Roberts from the show, Show Enough Divided. He's a Jags fan, of course. The contributors that have been on, such as Greg Andrews and Rachel, Rachel Hill, Kate Arhar, Brandy Fairfax. This has been a terrific year for the ShakeBack Media Group and the Big Game Christian Sports Network. I'm so excited about what's going to happen in 2024, particularly whenever we come around to doing the Women's History Celebration shows. That is going to be on point. I'm already lining up guests for that. Mr. U, Football Talk with Bo, Herb and Raj, and so many others, man, that have contributed to the success of the ShakeBack Media Group and, of course, the Big Game Christian Sports Network. All right, y'all come on back on the other side of the break. We're going to continue on with some more history talk of 2023. It's a special edition. It's the ShakeBack Sports Show / hashtag Brother Baseball Show. Big day, Willie Epting Jr. Y'all come on back and holler at us. What's up, good people? It's your boy, Willie Epting Jr. ShakeBack Media Group, also the hashtag Brothers of Baseball, where we are live on the scene, the official MLB store for Major League Baseball in New York City. The show, hashtag Brothers of Baseball. Make sure you check it out. 12s and 6s, 1s and 7s, Monday through Friday, BGCSN 1 and BGCSN 2. Willie Epting Jr. Come and holler at your boy on the hashtag Brothers of Baseball and the ShakeBack Media Group. Peace. We out. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the second segment of this special edition year-end show, a combined effort. ShakeBack Sports Show, the flagship 1A, flagship number 2 or 1B, hashtag Brothers of Baseball Show. Yes, Willie Epting Jr. Man, rolling back, second segment to the dopest engineer on the planet, Big Day. What's going on? Baseball fans, football fans, basketball fans all over the planet. What is happening, man? We just in case in the first segment you missed it, we began our review of the big news of 2023, both inside of sports, outside of sports. We had a guest, but not really a guest. Tisha C, one of the co-stars of a show Showing Up Divided, was kind enough to drop in and lend an ear, or I guess in this case, her tonsils or whatever, as she chimed in about her Kansas City Chiefs winning yet another Super Bowl. All right, before we move any further, though, we got to go ahead and take care of these bills. This second segment, it is being brought to you by Front End Sports. Man, I tell you right now, you talk about making history. Founded in 2022, Front End Sports is dedicated to empowering athletes, teams, and organizations with cutting-edge social media, merchandising, and NIL strategies to help your brand through innovative and personalized solutions. Their team consists of experienced professionals with diverse backgrounds in sports, marketing, design, and technology, and they all share a passion for helping their clients succeed and to unlock their full potential. So make sure you go to frontendsports.com and get your potential on as far as your branding and NIL or any of those other things that they have going on there on over there as they see fit. Okay, I see we got a couple of social media comments, so let's go ahead and go there. My man, the Back It Up Binge podcast. Afternoon, good afternoon, and good day, and good night, and good evening, and good morning, and all those things. Afternoon, that's the big homie George Bendicky. Afternoon from Cleveland. My stories from here. The Browns, and currently on my mind is the overpriced payment for baseball players, especially one that has never pitched in the Major League Baseball ranks. And of course, he is talking about Yamamoto, who signed with the Dodgers this past week. That is a huge story, but I think even a bigger story than that is the fact that the Dodgers have paid in excess of $1 billion for two players. Two players. And they've gotten over $1 billion. I'm going to talk about that here in just a minute, but I wanted to keep going. And thank you guys out there for that. And again, if you want to jump in the show, just go to the Twitter page for the ShakeBack Media Group, and of course on Facebook. I put the StreamYard link there in case you want to come in. I'll let you into the studio and we can chop it up about what your story was of 2023. I'm gonna go here. Look, this just might take the entire segment. And if it does, it does. And if it doesn't, then okay. But I'm gonna go here now. I'm going off the diamond, off the field, off the court, off out of the ring, whatever. And the hits just keep on coming in terms of the political climate in the United States of America. I'm going to try to keep this to about 8 to 10 minutes, but just in case I don't, please bear with me. There's a lot to be said as to what we have seen, not just in 2023, but really over the past 2 to 3 years. But I'm going to concentrate now basically on 2023 and how the stories from the political landscape are those that we have never seen before in any lifetime. There are things that have taken place that have been written in the Constitution for the United States that I'm sure when written, those dudes was probably like, yo, man, we're going to put this in here, but it probably ain't going to never happen. And then you just keep long. It's like my dad said, son, keep living long enough, you going to see it. And here we are. Now, again, let me preface this by saying this, and I am going to sit up in my chair because I'm inviting comments, but only I ask is that you be respectful, okay? This is not about political affiliation. This is not about race. This is not about sexual preference. This is not about religion. This ain't about any of that. To me, it's like flipping a coin. On one coin, it's good. On another coin, it's bad. This is what this is about, good and bad. So I have a question for people who are in support of the 45th president, Mr. Donald Trump, the former president. This is my question for you guys, for some of you guys. And please, I'm going to try not to get emotional, okay? Because I'm an emotional guy. The same thing that makes you laugh makes you cry. Here's the thing. A lot of Donald Trump supporters, or just, I don't really know how many. I'm just going to say many Donald Trump supporters claim to be Christian. And I'm not questioning their Christianity. I'm simply saying what they say. So here's my question as Christians, because I am that too. And I'm not that just because I'm sitting here on air in front of millions of people saying that I am. I would like to think that my walk and my talk match when it comes to Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Now, here's my question for Christians that follow or that support the former president. Number one, here's the first question. The Christian faith is based on that, which is faith. The Bible says, without faith, it is impossible to please God. And then, of course, one of the sins, the deadly sins, is one must not bear false witness. In other words, you, we, I, he, none of us are supposed to be out here lying about stuff. Does that make me perfect? No, I'm raising my hand first as the most perfect one out here. I am perfectly imperfect, and I am perfectly imperfect. All those things. So why is it that these things that Donald Trump has said over the past several years, even before the election of 2020 was even concluded, when he started laying the framework, we know that they're lies. Everybody knows that they're lies. And for people that continue to say, well, there's evidence out there. Well, where is it? I mean, where is the evidence? So if the evidence is there, please show us. I'm asking, please show us. If you show us, then maybe we can have a different perspective on where you're coming from. Maybe we can halfway understand where you're coming from. But the 2020 election has been over now for almost 2 years, 3 years rather. We're going into 2024. And where's the evidence? And Rudy Giuliani keeps spewing the same things. Donald Trump keeps spewing the same things. Where is the evidence? Your supporters, the supporters that love you, and, far be it from me to tell somebody who they should or shouldn't vote for. That ain't what this is about. Where is the evidence? You guys keep claiming it is out there. Rudy Giuliani even said it after being found guilty of defamation and having to award $148 million to the two ladies in Georgia. Where's the evidence? And he said, oh, it's coming. But where is it? So here's my question. If there's no evidence, there's no truth. If there's no facts, there's no truth. So how can one, as a Christian, bear witness with a person that is doing nothing but giving false witness? I don't understand that. So here's the thing. Donald Trump has been faced or is facing 91 felony charges. No other president in the United States of America in the history of this country has ever even faced one president or one charge. Donald Trump has been found liable for sexual assault for over 20 women. I don't understand. So if you're a Christian, how does your faith line up with that behavior? I think it's a valid question. And again, I'm welcoming anybody, Christian or not Christian, deacon, church member, pastor, bishop, doesn't matter. This is a real conversation. Those people that preach in the pulpit that actually support Donald Trump, I invite you to click on the StreamYard link on my Facebook page and on my Twitter page. Come on in. Let's talk about it. I don't understand. How in the world could this still be the case? And the historical part of it is this, is that we know that a president has never had to deal with any of these things before. He's got people that were once in his camp turning state's evidence. I mean, Mark Meadows, his former chief of staff, you can only imagine the information that dude has. The January 6th committee concluded their investigation earlier in the year, only to determine that, yes, Donald Trump was responsible for inciting a riot. So then what happens? The state of Colorado, as of this past week, the second to the last week in the year, what did they do? Oh, they said Donald Trump cannot be on the presidential ballot in our state because he violated the Constitution. He violated number 14. He violated that. That's according to the courts in Colorado. Guess what? History just continues to be made, because on Friday, there was a report that's out there that says Donald Trump did the same thing in Michigan, or in Wayne County specifically, which houses the city of Detroit and all of the other suburbs there. He did the same thing there that he allegedly did the same thing there that he did in Georgia. So now Michigan may be looking at possibly taking him off the ballot. So here's my question, ladies and gentlemen. Or here's my thought on it. And then after this, I'm going to move on back to sports. What happens if this person that is in support, that has all the support from all these people that don't seem to believe that this individual can do anything wrong? What if it was Barack Obama that was facing everything that Donald Trump is facing? What if it was Bill Clinton? What if it was Lindsey Graham? What if it was Nancy Pelosi? What if it was Ben Carson? What if it was Justice Clarence Thomas? What if it was gosh, I can't even think of his name right now. What if it was Mike Pence? What if it was anybody else? Would there be the same uproar? Would the energy be the same? I really would like to know, because again, I'm going to preface this by saying, for me, it's not about black or white. It's not about Republican or Democrat. It's not about liberal or conservative. It's about two sides of the coin. How many sides are there to a coin? Two. You have heads, you have tails. Take that same coin and take the heads off and put right on it, turn it over, take the tails off, and then put wrong on it. Flip it in the air and see what it lands on. That's what this is about. Right and wrong. So I'm especially interested to hear from people that have known me for a good period of my life, of the lighter shade of color that I am and the same shade of color that I am. I really would like to hear from you, because I know a lot of you guys are Trump supporters. And for us that may or may not be Trump supporters, and I'm not saying all Trump supporters, I'm talking about the ones that we see whenever we see them. Those are the ones that I'm talking about, that just continuously say there's evidence. Well, where is it? Where is it? Please show us. Instead of saying it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. That dude lied to us so many times. And look here, I'm not talking about the lies that Joe Biden has told. I'm not talking about the lies that Barack Obama has told. Now, if you want to talk about the lies that they've told, we can do that. But none of those presidents have made the history. None of those presidents or former presidents have had a story that is bigger than life in 2023. Name one if they did, and then point me to it. I'll go check it out for myself. So what I'm saying is this, ladies and gentlemen, is that there's blessing in the unity. God hates division. He hates strife. He hates schisms. And that's the book that I read. That's the book that many people that I am affiliated with read. And some of those that I'm not affiliated with read it too. And for those Trump supporters that read it, how can you justify what you say you are when your behavior shows something exactly the opposite? That's my question. And some people don't want to answer that question, and that's fine. And until that happens, I think it's a fair question. Until that happens, we will stay here. Understand this. Politicians, people in government, people that hold office, people that have the authority to affect policy and change policy, people that have the effect or have the authority to change things everywhere for the good of the whole, as long as they're making millions and millions of dollars, they're going to do whatever they can to keep us divided. And like a mentor of mine once told me, it doesn't matter who's in office. It doesn't matter if it's the Democrats in office. It doesn't matter if the Republicans in office. You better check your own office. And that's what I'm imploring us to do. All right, we got 2 minutes left to go in the second segment. Let's move on to the next big story of 2023 for me. And George, you just brought it up about how stories from here, the Browns and currently on my mind is the overpaid price for baseball players, especially one that never pitched in the MLB. Of course, he's talking about Yamamoto that came over from Japan, is with the Dodgers along with Shohei. Shohei, of course, is not going to be able to pitch in 2024 because of the Tommy John surgery. Yamamoto actually was being wooed by the Mets, the Yankees, and the Red Sox. All of the big teams with the big payrolls. Here's my thought on what you just talked about, George. I don't have a problem with it. If you are a baseball player, and if you go and listen to the last hashtag Brothers of Baseball show in the first segment, and actually the video is on YouTube and Twitter, and not on Instagram, but YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, where I had to talk a conversation with my father about this. I don't blame him one bit. You get all the money you can. If they're willing to spend it, you got to be willing to take it. That's just what that is. And you know what? It only takes one owner, one general manager, one director of player personnel to believe that a player or an athlete is worth X amount of dollars for that person to get X amount of dollars. Now, the more GMs or owners or player personnel directors, the more of those individuals that believe that, then the more your price can go up. But all it takes is one. And we don't know how many people actually offered Shohei Ohtani a deal. But if they may not have wanted to offer Shohei Ohtani $700 million over 10 years and then have it the back end of it deferred for the next 25 years. They may not want to do that. So who knows? Still a big story. All right. That's going to wrap it up for the second segment. Y'all come back on the other side. We still got some more history to get into. Big Day, Willie Epting Jr., ShakeBack Sports Show, and hashtag Brothers of Baseball Show. Y'all come back and holler at us. ShakeBack Media Group, Willie Epting Jr., hashtag Brothers of Baseball. Where are we? We are at the official MLB apparel store live in New York City. Man, the show, 12s and 6s, 1s and 7s, BGCSN 1 and 2. Come on, check your boy out, Willie Epting Jr., hashtag Brothers of Baseball. Yeah. What up, Shaq? Biggie Smalls, rest in peace. Come on, y'all. Yeah, y'all don't know nothing about that right there. What's up, y'all? Willie Epting Jr., third and final segment of the last show of 2023. It is a combined effort of the ShakeBack Sports Show, flagship number 1, and the hashtag Brothers of Baseball Show, flagship number 2. What a year it has been for the ShakeBack Media Group. What a year it has been for the Big Game Christian Sports Network. I'm telling you right now, I am so very excited about what is going on going into rather. Yeah, easy for me to say, into the next year. We had so many special segments. We had a lot of terrific guests. The the Women's History Celebration series of shows that we did in April and May was phenomenal. I can't wait to get back to that. We're actually in pre-production for that already. We've got some guests lined up as well. So I'm just very, very excited in terms of where we are going into 2024. So before we go any further, though, this third and final segment for the third or the last show of the year, it is being brought to you by West Bay Casino and Resort. Everyone deserves a break, so make a break for it. Go to West Bay Casino and Resort in Kingston, Oklahoma, located off Highway 71 on the shoreline of Lake Texoma in Oklahoma. Enjoy endless gaming, delicious dining, luxury resort amenities, 40 hotel rooms, 10 cabins, swimming pools, table games, retail, and over 275 of your favorite games, and so much more. Open 24/7, 7 days a week. For more information, go to westbaycasino.com. Again, that is westbaycasino.com. Thank you guys out there for checking us out all over our social media platforms, to include LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that. YouTube. Oh, I said that already, didn't I? Did I leave out one? I can't even remember if I did or not. So yeah, let's continue on with the show. We've given credence to basketball. Well, not yet. Not that. We got to get to it. So the NBA crowned a champion for the first time in that franchise's history in the Denver Broncos. And the Denver Broncos, of course, they defeated my Los Angeles Lakers on the way to the said finals, where they beat the Miami Heat in, what was it, 4 games? Was it a sweep? Maybe 5 games. But again, Nikola Jokic has thrusted himself as one of the top 3 players, not only in the NBA, but also on the globe. And he is continuing to do the same things that he's been doing at an even more higher clip. Can you say that? That's a double superlative. At a higher clip. So my thing with that is the NBA, in my opinion, I'm not nearly the fan of it that I was. It's too loosey goosey, and let's just move right into the next story from the NBA, because it involves LeBron James. Now, of course, LeBron James broke the 30 or the 40-year-old scoring record that was held by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, aka Lou Alcindor, for all those years. Something about the numbers, right? LeBron is 39. He broke it after 39 years. I think Kareem had the record after somebody else had it for 30-something years. So LeBron James is now, of course, the all-time leading scorer in the NBA, and he just surpassed the all-time minutes played mark for any player in the National Basketball Association. But here's my question, or here's my thing. None of that makes him the GOAT. I'm sorry. He is not the GOAT. And not to rain on his accomplishments. However, people that think that just because you're the all-time scoring leader, and you have 4 championships and you've done things on the court that really hardly anybody else could ever do, if anybody, that doesn't make you the GOAT, dog. There's too many intangibles about that. But we still want to give LeBron his flowers. I'm not a LeBron fan. He just happens to play for my favorite team, period. So I don't dislike him, but I don't particularly care for him either. And the thing is that LeBron, he let's just say LeBron, I don't think has the toughness of what the sort of toughness that is required to be a joke. I mean, to be a GOAT. He doesn't have the requirements, in my opinion, to be a GOAT. That's just me. But yeah, so congratulations there. And then in my own backyard, another terrific sports story, and yet another first in the sport for a franchise that had been to the World Series 2 times, back-to-back years in 2010 and 11. They lost to the St. Louis Cardinals after the drop out in right field by Big Day. Don't get on to me, Big Day. But of course, Nelly Cruz dropped the fly ball in the outfield. The Rangers were down to their last strike. And then they come back the next year against a Bruce Bochy-led San Francisco Giants team and lost there. Well, you fast forwarded some 13 years, and here we are. What the Rangers did in 2023 is nothing short of sensational. I'm not a Rangers fan. However, the offensive coordinator who is so instrumental and responsible for turning that offense around, Donnie Yecker, has been on the hashtag Brothers of Baseball show before. So I was rooting for him. I wasn't rooting for these fans around here. I'm not going to even get into that. But the Rangers had the lead in the American League West for the majority of the season. And you get to September and you start to fall down. An offense that led the majors in wins while scoring 10 plus runs. That's what they did. A team that had 2 MVP candidates on the same team at the same time in Corey Seager and Marcus Semien. And then you have Adolis Garcia. You have the trades that they made at the deadline to get Max Scherzer. You had, of course, Jacob deGrom going down in the first week of the year and had Tommy John surgery and is going to be out for the foreseeable future. You had a team in the Houston Astros that had dominated the Rangers, not last year, but really in recent memory, even to include this year. So what do the Rangers do? Well, the Rangers, on the last day of the year, the last game of the season, with the offensive prowess that they had all year long. Well, ironically, they're in a weekend set, the final weekend of the year, against the Seattle Mariners at Safeco Field or T-Mobile Park or whatever they're calling it these days. Pitcher's Ballpark. We know that. But the Rangers, one of the most prolific offenses in the last few years, in the last game of the season, scored only 1 run. And because they only scored they allowed 1 run. The thing is that Seattle allowed 1 less run than that. So they got shut out the final game of the year, 1-0. That actually cost them the American League West championship because they and the Astros finished with the same record. I think it was 94-68, maybe something like that. Maybe 96-60, something like that. But they tied with the same record. But due to the fact that the Astros had dominated the Rangers all season long, they get the tiebreaker. So since they got the tiebreaker, they win their 6th or 5th straight American League West championship. What does that mean? Well, it causes the Rangers to have to go on the road as a wild card. So what do? They go to Tampa, who Tampa had dominated them in recent years as well. They take 2 out. They sweep the Tampa Bay Rays, a better ball club in my opinion. So then what do? Well, that ain't good enough for you. A 99 team in the Tampa Bay Rays. Oh, only thing they do now is go to Baltimore and they take the first 2 games there, and then they sweep the Orioles. Oh, by the way, Jose Trevino is live on Instagram TV, man. Thank you for joining, man. I appreciate you. I really would like to talk to you, man, about some things about baseball, but we'll get back to that at another point. But so then the Rangers, of course, they sweep the Orioles. That wasn't good enough for you? Oh, they only won 101 games. So then they go on off to the ALCS and face a team that had dominated them all year. Oh, by the way, again, they beat them out for the division championship because they had the tiebreaker over them. And what do? Well, no team wins a home game in that series. Oh, by the way, that's the second time that the Astros have done that. And the first time that the Rangers have done that, where they win all games on the road to win a series. That is ridiculous. And then they go off to the World Series, and then they beat the Diamondbacks. Congratulations to them. Again, nobody thought that the Rangers would be in this position. I certainly didn't. And there's a lot of kudos that could go around to the guys out there in Arlington. But the story to me is the fact how Bruce Bochy, who is well respected around Major League lore, comes out of retirement after going fishing with his grandson in Tennessee, or wherever he's from. I think he's from Tennessee, after having led the San Francisco Giants to 3 championships in even years, 2010, 2012, 2014. We know about that. And I joked about it, of course, as well when they won it in 2023. How's that possible? Bruce Bochy only wins championships in even number years. But be that as it may, that's the story. After having health challenges and all those things, he comes in and he takes this team to the World Series. So, again, I was never a Rangers fan. My team is the Oakland A's, and I'm fixing to talk about them right now because there's a story there, and then I'm going to get out of here for the year. So, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. So let me just transition over to my Oakland A's. And I had a conversation with my dad about this on the last show. It's still up. Hashtag Brothers Baseball Show, 12s and 6s, 1s and 7s, BGCSports.net, or the TuneIn app. Just put in BGC Sports in the search bar, you'll find it. Or it's on Twitter and it's on YouTube as well as and on Facebook. But this is one of the things that me and my pop talked about in the last episode. And this was about the A's moving to Vegas. I actually saw something, and I was reminded of it, that it's not the city of Oakland it's not the Oakland A's. It's the city of Oakland. And as I'm perusing through some of my notes, right, I see here that there is going to be a boycott. It is time to boycott opening day, March 28th, 2024 in the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum parking lot. What are they boycotting? They shouldn't be boycotting the A's. Major League Baseball told the A's to move. You might want to think about moving to a new place. Again, my analogy, Major League Baseball, the landlord, the property owner, the different teams, they're the apartments. You have an apartment in Oakland that is not up to snuff. The landlord tells you that you might want to move out of one of their apartments and get a new apartment. That is what that is how I related to that. This apartment in Oakland had roaches, rats, beetles, and all kinds of stuff running around. And they had to get out. Now, as a fan of that team, and as a fan of the city of Oakland, and as a person that still has ties to the Bay Area, it saddens me that we came to this. But I understand why. Because the city of Oakland did not do what the city of Oakland needed to do in order to keep either the A's, the Warriors, or the Raiders in the East Bay. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have Armageddon on our hands. We have the last days on our hands in terms of sports, because for the first time, when 2025 rolls around, for the first time in like 70 years, there will be no professional teams in the East Bay. And I hate to say it, but I don't think there's going to ever be one again. And ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why I say it is the last days. Look, I'm about to get out of here for the year. Thank you guys out there for watching on Instagram TV, as well as Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that. This has been a tremendous year for the ShakeBack Media Group. We thank you for your support. It costs nothing to support us. And we really appreciate it. Nor is it mandatory, but it is certainly appreciated. So for all you guys out there, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I want to see you back here in 2023, and we're going to continue to ride out from there. All right. Up next, The B's, 2B's, man, the 2B or not to be show. Nah, it's the 2B's. Make sure y'all check them out. 4, the dopest engineer on the planet. Baseball fans, sports fans, football fans, basketball fans, all over the planet. Y'all take care of each other. Y'all hug each other. Y'all love each other. I promise it's going to be all right. And we'll see y'all again in 2024. Peace. I'm out.